So when they talk about multi-level trays and they talk about washing, that's when my phone doesn't fall over. This is one of those examples. 3 levels, so woo! And they're heavy. Bottom level, indicator, or integrator, whatever you want to call it. I have my second level I already checked. These I'm not counting, I'm just checking for cleanliness. I'm going to put my integrator in there. And at my third level, which I have not checked yet, so I'm sitting up here, I'm going to go through these. And these are what some of your implant trays are going to look like. If you open this, they are going to fall all over, and then it will not be fun for you to put them back in place by measurement, color, order. So I check the back of it. I will open this up, check for cleanliness. Sometimes you don't have to put them in all of them, but you should put an indicator at least in one of them to prove that it penetrated and it got sterile. Okay guys, places where there could be hidden bioburden. These are called quick connect devices. They would take a drill bit and they would connect this into here as such. So one, that's going to be disconnected and put back in its place. Two, this right here, watch. There could be blood inside of there, so you always check that. And the other one was this one. This tool. Okay. 2 separate pieces that don't come apart. There's little air pockets in there. But when I push down on the bottom here, there's a tip. A hidden little tip. So I'm pushing right here. Blood could be inside of there if it wasn't cleaned in another facility. And that's the tip I'm looking at. Of course, it doesn't want to focus, but... This is a look at some of our loaner instruments. These are for spinal trays and measurements. Here's another one. Something may or may not be in there, so you're always... I'll show you a couple things in our my very small department. For our surgery center, we have 1 autoclave, 1 washer. Currently, this is our steam Steris by Steris autoclave. There's 9 minutes left on it. As you can hear the vacuum and everything working. It even tells you, it says phase, it's an exhaust, it has a date, time, it's up to temp. You get a printout. And when that comes out, I will check it to make sure that all the phases were correct, the temperature, the time, and that it digitally said that it passed. Until I open it and I pull out that biological, I'm going to incubate to make sure that bacteria had been killed inside that biological. This is our incubator. We place the biological in there. And it will read in about 24 minutes. Once you place it, this is our load gun. This will allow us to know the date that something was sterilized, which sterilizer and which load that something was sterilized on. The importance of that is for record keeping, and say we found out that the biological failed and we had order release at the load, we would have to find all the items in that load, and the easiest way to do that would be to check those load stickers. This is our washer. This is also by Steris. It's a company that does a lot of our items. I'm going to open the door just to show you what it looks like when it's done. Be cleaned on the clean side. So door open. It's going to open up. It's going to be hot and steamy. Woo! My glasses are steamed up, see? Hot and steamy. You can either let it cool for a minute and then take it out, or we literally have kitchen gloves to pull those items out. And then we stack our clean trays over here. So, and then we process. So I'm over here processing a tray right now. As you can see, this is our can. I have my stringer. I'm starting to string my instruments. I have my count sheet. And these are handheld instruments that don't go on the stringer. Some of our bigger things, like this mallet, these type of things, I will just lay in the tray. And then I will place my stringer in here as well. I have my integrators. These are the ones that we use here. These ones are a type 5, just like the ones that we have in class. It's just shaped differently. Same thing, has a reject and accept area on it. Has a lot number, has an expiration date. Everything is tracked by this company to make sure, hey, these integrators are good. You'll find that a lot in everything that we do in medical and in disposables. Everything's dated, everything has an expiration date. They want to make sure that these items are being sterile. They want to make sure that if they have to recall something, that they can pull up the lot number and say, hey, yeah, we sent these out, something's wrong with this item, this medical device, please take it off the shelf. Just like food, FDA regulations. And then we have a little Kim guard rack right here. We have all sizes. So yeah, we just pick our size to make sure it's appropriate for the size of the tray. This is where we place our items when we're done wrapping. This is what a wrap tray would look like when we tape it. So this is your envelope wrap. You would always leave a tab for the OR to be able to pull and break these tabs with one quick pull with a sterile glove, so they're not finagling their hands in there and doing anything. We just label with tape here, and we initial it that it's our tray. The initialing purposes are to prove that who did the tray in case there is an issue with the tray. You know, only so many times you can make a mistake. It happens. It's going to happen. You're going to get talked to. But if it's a continuous thing, then that's an issue. You know, say I make a mistake once a year, I'm not going to get fired for that. But if I make a mistake every week, then most likely I'm going to get multiple write-ups and then fired. Here's our Genesis pan. You have those orange locks on them. These ones have tags. We put a piece of tape on it to prove that that will be sterile. And then I'll show you what the sterile one looks like when it comes out. So that item will turn black. We have our lot sticker and the tape that has also been a visual indicator. There is a filter inside the pan. That's just as if it was Kim guard to help the steam get in and out, but not allow bacteria in once it's steamed. We have our peel pouches cooked with a visual integrator inside, lot sticker, and this is our wrap, and that's what the tape will look like once it's sterilized. So yeah, and that's about it right now in this small prep and pack area. Okay, thanks guys. Okay guys, I'm putting in a small load just because we need some items for a case that said it was not working, I guess, so we have a backup set. So I have only 5 trays in here, so I'm going to load it in, but I'm going to show you what the sterilizer looks like when I hit the buttons. If I can reverse this camera, and I can't. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. I have to run it on a 5 and 30. So I'm looking right there. So my cycle is number 3 that I'm going to be utilizing. 270 degrees Fahrenheit, 5 minutes of steam, 30 minutes of dry time, because that is the IFU for this McCullough retractor. We have sheet notes laying around for some of this stuff. Information for use. So some scientific method that a company checked and said, hey, this is the only way this tray should be sterilized. So I'm going to lock my cart in place. I'm going to load her in. Of course, I have my biological on the bottom rack closest to the drain because that's where you're supposed to place it. Information of use. I'm gonna close my door. This helps seal. You see that rubber? That helps keep it sealed. So now when I hit this, you're gonna hear a bunch of noises, and that's the vacuum starting to work to get all that oxygen out of there. Continue. You're about to run a cycle of 270. Does it have an implant, include a bio? Yes. So it runs about an hour. So it says it's warming up right now, and then eventually it will, you'll hear exhaust, and it will be taking out some steam, or taking out some oxygen. But yeah, there's emergency stop buttons. I mean, it has everything that you may need to know at one point in time, you know, if there's an emergency. But that's about it. Bye, guys. Past, open door, unload chamber, cycle complete. So I'm going to hit open door. It's going to be very hot. Actually, I should temp that. I'm gonna temp it for you guys right now. Let's see. I'm just curious. 112. Ooh, 210. 210 degrees. Don't burn yourselves. Okay, so I got my rack over here. I'm going to lock it into place. I'm going to take my oven mitt, and I'm going to pull this rack out. It's going to smell, not smell bad, but you're going to know the smell once it's done being cooked. It smells like hot plastic, I guess. And then we're going to let that cool. And I have to double check, but I believe it has to be 80 degrees before you're allowed to release the item. And it has to cool so it doesn't get wet, create condensation. So it has airflow underneath these racks right here until it cools down before you're allowed to place it on a shelf, on a rack, or in an OR. And then I'm just going to close the door. I'm going to pull out this receipt. It does say cycle passed. But I will check all of these and initial the items and log them into we have a tablet here. Some places just have computers. And this is my biological on the bottom rack. Sorry, I'm all over the place here. There's our biological. Indicator. There's an indicator right there that changed colors. That tells me that this has been processed in the steam. We have our expiration date, our lot number. Those will get logged into the computer as well. And then I'm going to open this up. There's going to be an integrator in here and a biological, and I'm going to put that in the incubator and wait 24 minutes to see if it passed. I guess that's about it for now. I'm going to tell you what this bacteria is inside of here. I'm going to read this one over here, okay? Whoops, as I knocked something down. Okay, so this one is the G. Sterile Thermopolis. G. Sterile Thermopolis by 3M. And that one is negative. So that means it's negative for bacteria. There's no bacteria is negative. Okay.